You're spiritually frozen. God hit a trigger that scientists just found. The reason nothing is shifting isn't that you haven't done enough. It's that you're doing everything on autopilot. I went through the motions for years, but then I discovered the sole trigger while studying supercooling physics as a PhD graduate student. Today you're going to learn why the Torah encoded this missing fix inside the Mishkan 3,000 years before thermodynamics caught up. And the flash freezing glass in the thumbnail, that's how one conscious moment transforms everything you've already built. I'm Dr. Yosef Wolf, and my mission is to uncover reality's blueprint by revealing how the physical is rooted in the spiritual. Look, you've probably heard that consistency is the key to spiritual growth, and that advice isn't wrong, but it's incomplete because consistency without awareness is just sophisticated sleepwalking. And every day you stay on autopilot, you're not just stalling, you're blocking the very transformation your soul is yearning for. I know that feeling. I remember sitting in shul one Shabbos morning, mouthing the words of Shemona Esrei for the 1,000th time, feeling absolutely nothing. I was the most observant version of myself I'd ever been, and the emptiest. And that's when I found the blind spot in how we think about spiritual transformation. 2011, a cryogenics lab in the University of Utah, computational chemist Emily Moore hunches over her workstation, the hum of cooling fans drowning out everything else. She's modeling water, ultra pure water. No dust, no minerals, no imperfections of any kind. She drops the temperature past 0, past -10, -20. The water stays liquid. -30, -40 degrees Celsius. Still liquid, not a single crystal. Think of it like a loaded mousetrap. The spring is compressed. All the energy is stored, but without something to trip the trigger, it just sits there, frozen in potential. That's supercooling. Then one disturbance enters the system, one microscopic flaw, and the entire sample flash freezes in under a second. When I read that study, my hands went cold, because 3,000 years earlier, the Torah described this identical mechanism. Bnei Israel donated so generously for the Mishkan that Moshe had to command them to stop. All that spiritual energy, overflowing, yet the Shechinah did not descend. The nation was supercooled, way past threshold, and completely suspended. This isn't a metaphor. This is the same system operating at a different scale. The spiritual reality came first. Science caught up 3 millennia later. The reason I'm telling you this is because the Torah diagnosed what was missing, and it changes everything. If you want to be the first to receive additional inspiring insights that are going to my new Torah and Science book, Before the Big Bang, sign up for my free newsletter. The link is in a pinned comment under the subscribe button. Those that sign up before the launch will receive a 10% discount code. Here are the 3 clues. Clue number 1, the supercooled nation. The donations weren't just generous, they were overwhelming. Gold, silver, copper, fabric, oil. The craftsman went to Moshe and alerted him that the people are bringing more than enough. And right about now, something new is pushing back. If they gave everything, why didn't it work? That's the exact right question. In supercooling, ultra-pure water resists crystallization precisely because nothing is wrong with it. There's no imperfection for crystals to form around. Scientists call this a nucleation site. No site, no crystal. The water stays trapped in liquid form no matter how cold it gets. The purity itself was the problem, but purity alone doesn't trigger transformation. Something else had to enter the system first. But if purity isn't enough, what kind of flaw does God's system actually require? We're about to discover the soul trigger, and when you see it, your relationship with past failures transforms forever. But first, one more piece. Clue number 2, the flaw that built the house. The Frierdiker Rebbe reveals something in his last mimer, Basi LeGani, that should stop you cold. The Mishkan was built from acacia wood, and in Hebrew, that word shares the root with shtos, folly, the folly of sin. Hashem's dwelling isn't constructed from perfection. It's constructed from transformed transgression. Holy intensity anchored in the one place that comfortable vessels can never hold it. Let's remember the Cheit HaEigel, the worst spiritual failure in Jewish history. Rashi explains why the Torah calls it the Mishkan of the testimony. Testimony to what? That God forgave the sin. The Shechinah resting among them was the proof. So the question that might be forming in your head right now is, so the sin was part of the plan? That's exactly what the science confirms. The Cheit HaEigel wasn't an obstacle to the Mishkan, it was the nucleation site. Scientists discovered that supercooled water crystallizes around an imperfection. No flaw, no crystal. No crystal, no transformation. The sin supplied exactly what purity could not. That flash freezing glass in the thumbnail, the crystal forming inside it right now, it's glowing around a flaw. And without that flaw, the glass stays liquid forever. This was the answer I couldn't find that Shabbos morning in shul. I thought my emptiness meant I was doing something wrong. It turns out that the failures I was ashamed of were the nucleation sites that God built into my system on purpose. Now we have two pieces. The spiritual energy was stored, the flow was in the place. But there's still one problem. Even with the nucleation site, supercooled water won't freeze on its own. So what triggers the flash freeze? Before we continue, please consider clicking the join button below to become a member of my channel. Your support is a signal that this intersection of Torah and science fused into tools for real life deserves to exist. That signal is what keeps me producing at this high level. Clue number 3, the tap. The root pei kuf dalad means to account, to attend, to be intensely present. After the Mishkan was assembled, Moshe accounted for every beam, every socket, every half shekel. Most people read this as bookkeeping. It's not just that. It's the most important act in the entire construction. The Or HaChaim distinguishes two types of donors, those who gave within means and those whose hearts elevated them beyond capacity. Individual awakenings, beautiful but scattered. So Moshe's accounting unified them, one conscious act of precise attention that gathered every scattered awakening into a single collective shift. In supercooled systems already holding an imperfection, one perturbation crystallizes the entire liquid instantly, not gradually, not over weeks, in under a second. Everything that was stored releases at once. Moshe's accounting was the tap on the glass, and then the Shechinah descended. One conscious act, an entire nation crystallized. If you're sitting there thinking, so it was never about doing more, stay with me. Before we see how the pieces come together, let's review the 3 clues. Clue number 1, the supercooled nation. Clue number 2, the flaw that built a house. And clue number 3, the tap. Do you see how all the pieces are coming together? Here is the convergence. Supercooling science gets one thing right. A system past its threshold contains all the energy needed for transformation, but it stops at the mechanism and misses the purpose. The Torah reveals both. The energy was the nation's generosity in Vayakhel. The nucleation site was the Cheit HaEigel, the flaw that became the foundation. And the soul trigger, Moshe's conscious accounting. The key was how precise, intentional, and present Moshe was. One moment of focused attention that crystallized an entire nation into a dwelling place for God. Every time you pause before making a bracha and actually mean it, every time you give tzedakah with a full heart, you're not just checking a box. You're tapping the glass on everything your life has been accumulating. That flash freezing glass in the thumbnail, that's the protocol for how God builds his home. Energy stored, flaw in place. One tap causes everything to transform. This was the answer I couldn't find that empty Shabbos morning. Every mitzvah on autopilot wasn't wasted, it was stored. Every failure wasn't contamination, it was a nucleation site. The only thing missing was one moment of full presence. I used to believe that the spiritual flatness meant I was broken, that the emptiness was proof I'd failed somewhere along the way. That's the autopilot lie. And autopilot is just a protocol running without a user at the controls. So I have a challenge for you. This Shabbos, before Kiddush, stop. Don't rush through it. Account for one specific blessing Hashem has placed in your life. Not a generic thank you, a precise, conscious moment of presence. That focused attention is the tap on the glass, crystallizing your accumulated kedusha into a vessel for the Shechinah. Comment below with what you chose. I'll be honest, it helps the channel grow when you comment, but that's not why I'm asking you to do it. It's the easiest action you can take right now to activate what you've already built. If you hesitate to do something this small, how likely are you to evoke true change? Next time you feel that flatness, ask yourself, who inside of me is running on autopilot? Is it the part that stopped expecting miracles? Tell that part, I see you. But the godly soul has the controls now. Too intimidated to comment? Just click like or share. Let that small conscious act be the first tap. And that flash freezing glass, now you see it differently. Every mitzvah you've done on autopilot isn't wasted energy. It's supercooled potential waiting for the trigger. Every failure you carry is not contamination. It's the nucleation site God engineered into the system. And every moment you choose to be fully precisely present, that's the soul trigger. You're not stuck. You're supercooled. The energy is already inside of you. It always was. Now tap. When an entire generation finally taps the glass with intentional presence, that's Moshiach. Not more effort, more awareness, and then all of existence will crystallize into revealed divine form. To learn more about the Golden Cure by analyzing Jewish mysticism with the same scientific rigor I use to defend my PhD in astrophysics, click here. And if you want to discover why God engineered your worst pressure to reveal your hidden light, click here. If you want to dedicate or sponsor one of these classes, click on the link in the description. Thank you for partnering with me as we uncover reality's blueprint together.